Welcome back to the video log of my solar panel project. Today I'm talking about the 1 megawatt hour milestone that it reached after 75 days of operation. Also, I've made many upgrades to the system to get more value from it. This chart shows the daily energy production in kilowatt hours. September was a good month with an average production of 13 kilowatt hours a day. October ticked down as expected to 10, and so far in November it's creating 8 kilowatt hours a day. There was a 3-day stretch with no production because we had some snow and it didn't slide off the 22-degree slope roof. I had to brush it down. Reaching the 1 megawatt hour milestone was cause for some perspective, so I plotted my energy spending per month versus the average outdoor temperature. This is all available on your utility bill. Before I went solar, I installed extra attic insulation because that was the advice of the internet. I sealed up gaps with spray foam and put in 1 bag of insulation per 30 square feet on top of an existing 10 inches, resulting in about 18 inches total of cellulose. That alone saved $1 a day in the heat with summer AC and 50 cents a day in the winter on heating. However, in the temperate months, there's not a lot of savings with insulation. So once I put the solar on, it dropped off by another $2.50 a day in September and October. Focusing on the electrical part of the utility spending shows the contribution of solar more directly. With only 2.5 months of history, this isn't the whole picture yet, but the green line I expect to show less daily savings in the coldest months when the sun is low in December and January. I've calculated only 250 kilowatt hours a month production from the PV Watts website in that time frame, but I'm really anticipating production in June, July 2020 when I calculate the system will cover 70% of my electrical usage, dropping spending to less than $1 a day. On to the upgrades. I bought a ME BMK kit to track the lithium iron phosphate home battery state of charge, and that came with the 500 amp 50 millivolt shunt. Here it is installed. On the ME ARTR router, the numbers indicate the state of charge on top, and then the instantaneous current flow in and out of the battery on the bottom. My battery now will read down to negative 220 amp hours and then up to positive 40 amp hours. It doesn't zero because I use solar to charge the battery, and it won't reset the amp hour meter. It only does that when you use the Magnum's internal charger. Here's the new battery pack. In addition to the 32650 VeraCore battery, I installed these BAE system bus packs I bought used on eBay. I'm showing 5 cakes of these installed with a dedicated 100 amp BMS. These 5 cakes have another 80 amp hour, 4 kilowatt hour of energy. Word of warning on these used packs. I found that the 8 parallel 12 series packs have issues with series layers that are lower capacity hidden inside groups of higher capacity. So for example, the first 7 or 8 cell groups will be 12 amp hour, then cell groups 8 to 11 might have 1 or 2 groups that are at the 5 amp hour level, so I had to cut them out and swap in matched capacity ones. In the bus, the plus side must have gotten hot or something. Also, the packs are 12 series, so I needed 15 series to match the voltage. So here I cut out 3 cell packs and put them in. Here's some views of the negative side and then the positive side. I also got a FRG Energy Hub kit. This isn't a true power kit. It has CT sensors, no voltage. I have a phone app and a web interface that shows the total grid usage on each leg of my 200 amp main panel, and I set that voltage to 120. The sub-monitoring kit is on one leg of the Magnum inverter output, so it has to be set to 240 volts. I have a trick to make this read solar output only. I have the grid power come into and out of the Magnum inverter with the wires going opposite directions in the CT sensor. That way when it's on grid, the power cancels out and it reads 0, but in inverting mode, it reads correctly. I'll be installing a second mini CT sensor on both legs so that I can better measure it. The big picture here is it's not as important to measure the solar output as it is to measure the reduction in grid input. The grid power costs money. For my household, we use about 30 kilowatt hours a day. If 10 of that comes from solar, then I only buy 20, etc. So the chart and the web interface I hope will clearly show the daily make-buy ratio for power usage. Thank you for watching, and I hope this pushes you closer to going solar or improving your own solar setup.